This was kind of exactly what a coach would want to get accomplished. We took on the necessity of no shoulder pads, which is a miserable thing for a coach because that's not how you practice football. But we got a lot done. I think we took on formations, we took on motions. We had a number of quarterbacks that played in this day and made some nice throws, and some receivers that made some nice catches. So the opportunity to throw and catch on a day where you can't be physical was entertaining and fun and enjoyable. So I think our team is looking forward to hard work. At the end of that practice, we ran them, and they understood the drill. They understood why, and it was, to make them stronger and be in a position to take on adversity. And I think they did great. So, questions?
If you guys will raise your hand, we'll bring mics to you. Please identify yourself.
Okay, Benton Smith, Lawrence Journal World. How much did you all get into playbook stuff, offense and defense, that type of stuff?
Play by what?
How much did you get into the playbook?
In the playbook?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. We just, for the first practice, we just, scratched the surface. Nothing significant. We're, the things that we did do were important and things that we'll be doing on Saturdays. But, it's down the road, and we're looking for the playmakers that make those plays work. And, we're still evaluating.
What's maybe the most intense thing you guys did today, and how do you think the players responded?
We went one-on-one with the receivers, and I thought that was a really nice attempt at a learning drill, and we had a couple guys get tangled up, but not much, and so it allowed the drill to continue. So. We were 7-on-7. We were team, and the thing that you tell them is the running back runs through the hole, and it goes against everything that the defense stands for. But it's the way that you teach, this, how we dress. It's shoulder pads, not and so that running back is allowed to run through, and he's the only one that's allowed to put his helmet down. So we got some things accomplished that way, but not a large percentage of the offense.
Scott Jason, 24/7 Sports. What will be some of the things that throughout the entirety of the spring that you hope to see and identify with the quarterbacks?
With the quarterbacks? Well, I think they're decision makers. I think that's the first thing. Now that they make a decision, execute the play, and I think we're down the road a little bit with a couple of the guys, and I think there's there's some advantages there.
Do you expect that to be one of the more competitive position groups?
I don't know. It'll be real interesting to see how time and experience of the spring will affect the quarterback group.
Matt Galloway with the Topeka Capital Journal. Coach, what's your feel for how deep you guys are at running back, and what do you hope to see out of them this spring?
I think we have a number of guys that can play with Khalil Herbert, but we don't have one of the running backs that we will eventually and see if we can have him. So, and Dom Williams, those two would be the two that we would turn to on a regular basis.
Sure. And when it comes to Puka, is there any kind of timetable on that, or is there something he has to do?
No, it's an ongoing process, and it's not one that we're going to mess with in any way.
Raise your hand if you have a question.
John Kirby with Rivals.com. Early on, Coach, is there a philosophy that you'd like to do offensively?
Well, the ability to, throw bubbles and RPOs and have the ability to throw the ball down the field certainly would be things that we would start with, and the ability to rush the football and control the ball, when time would suggest that you could win the game by running out the clock. So those two things would be things that we'll practice. But what we'll practice is third down situations, fourth down situations. We'll take today we worked 3 special teams units, field goal block, our kickoff, and our punt. So feel pretty good about the start of the things that we've got to get accomplished, and those would be a laundry list.
Hey, Jesse Newell of the Kansas City Star. I wondered, just culture-wise, what are some of the things that you're hoping to establish here early on?
Well, I want I want them to want to establish the culture, okay? And I'm meeting weekly with a group of Unity Council guys that are the leaders of the team, and I like the progress that they're making. I like who they are, and I think that they anticipate a very positive fall, and you can tell about the way they carry themselves and how they, want to review what would be the characteristics of our team, and so I think that key piece, identifying culture and having them put their initials on it. That's mine. That's what we're going to be, and I think we're down the road a little bit there too. I don't want it to hurry because it's theirs, and it has to be theirs. Because if it's mine, it's just the other guy talking. Okay, if it's theirs, it makes a difference.
Over here, Coach Matt Tate from the Journal World. How fast did this come, the start of spring football for you? And have you had any time to get settled and acclimated into Lawrence and the community?
Well, we walked in to the hotel afterward, and the wife said, "Okay, we're going to go over here looking for a house. We're going to get this done. We're going to get that done." My eldest daughter's, things that she's got to do in her career, and I mean it's a fast pace, but we've enjoyed the little free time that we've had. Look around, get bites to eat here on Massachusetts Street, and have some fun. So yeah, it's the Miles family has noticed that this is a really nice place to live.
Does it seem like it all went fast though to get from November when you were?
Absolutely, yeah. I can't tell you. Yeah, it's been a blur, sincerely.
Matt Galloway from the Capital Journal again. You mentioned the Unity Council. Can you take me into what one of those meetings looked like, and I guess how you came up with the idea for those, and I guess what you hope to accomplish?
I was fortunate. I had an assistant coach that I hired at Oklahoma State, and he said to me, he said, you might consider speaking more to the players, and having a group of key players that you might call aside on a regular basis. And I immediately heard that and knew that it was the right thing. I had meetings probably within 3 days of that conversation, and I've never had a team that I did not have some leadership structure in place when I spoke to them, and I did. So, and this group of guys, they're ambitious, and but they're they're figuring out the new coach. So
How did you identify that?
had each player's position group identify the leader of the group, the best player, best kid, best person, student, guy that will do right in a position where he needs to do right. And they returned a really good group. I've had a couple of groups in my first year. This has been a pretty special group of guys. I mean, they're ambitious. They got something to prove. So.
Oh, yeah. Did you see some of that at practice today? Some of those guys, some of those leaders, kind of.
We've run a morning workout, and it tests you. It's painful. We practice at 5:50. Well, it's not a practice; it's a workout, but it's 5:55 in the morning. Okay, and we've had 7 or 8 of them thus far, and they have responded extremely well. I mean, it's hard work. It's very much like a game. If you jump off sides, you're penalized. It's demanding, and they have really done a great job achieving it. You know, we grade the reps very hard, and these guys have done a really good job in just accommodating that event, those morning workouts, and we'll run perfect sprints at the very end of the event, and we'll go through 8 drills, 8 things that are very much like football games and football skills, and they've done a really good job.
And I was wondering about the receiving group. That's a group that doesn't have a lot of experience. And what are you looking for from those guys this spring? Is there going to be a lot of competition at that position?
Yeah, there'll certainly be competition, but you know, it's there's some guys in other spots that maybe deserve some throws, and then you know Dalen Charlotte is a guy with a lot of talent, and you know you got to get him on the field, and Andrew Parchment and Ezra Naylor are 2 guys that you know have height and ability to run, and you know putting them in position to make catches and do those things. I guess what I'm saying is, I think you're right. I think there's some veterans there that we're going to have to look at, and you know, just because they're veteran and they've done it in that stadium, and it looks like it's going to all come together for him. It's got to happen for us, and it's got to happen for us new again. You know, the next time we take the field. So.
Let's take one more question.
I saw you working a lot with like special teams guys out there. How did it feel being back out there?
Oh, I enjoyed it. I get just about I can get as much as my hands on in a piece to coach. I'm going to coach it. You know what I mean? And so special teams is a favorite of mine, and so I am involved in that, making sure that things are getting done in a way that would benefit us. And I like our coaches. I like our kids. I think it'll be a very competitive group, and I like our punter. Our punter's a guy that is the second team punter of the conference, and we'll have to see how the kickers come, but we think we're in good shape there.